suggest we do is, because it's a public meeting which is supposed to start bang on time and the clocks are showing 1 minute past 4, I'll do my little spiel and then hopefully Ellis will just join us while we're doing that.
Okay.
And then you can crack on and he can join us when he can. So
Okay.
I will remind you all the usual stuff about muting your microphone if you're not speaking. And then if you do want to indicate to speak, you'll need to press the hand signal as Councillor Geraint Thomas has done at the moment. Did you want to say something before we start, Geraint?
Yes, please. Councillor Andrew Barry's on the phone. He asked if Michelle can let him into the meeting, please.
Aha. Michelle, are you okay to sort that out?
Yeah. Matthew, can you see in the lobby because you're in It's Democratic?
All right, we'll carry on with this preamble bit because I know Councillor Barry has heard this. So we're just reminding you of the rules about pressing the virtual hand if you want to speak, and then once you've been invited to speak, that you go back onto mute. And yeah, so if you have to leave the meeting or if you drop out, you need to let Democratic Services know. So I'm afraid you're going to have to raise your hand and say if you're leaving. And we've added a new thing into this preamble now because we do need to take things on trust a little bit. And that is that the law says you can't vote on something unless you've heard the whole debate. So we're trusting you that if you drop out and you don't hear the debate, that you then don't vote on it. So we're just going to see how that goes. And then when it comes to recommendations, I'm going to invite you to vote when the time comes. I think that's probably all that you need to hear from me by way of preamble. So we'll hand over to you now, Leader. I can't see that Ellis has joined, but again, I think probably we need to press on because I know your time is limited. So we'll carry on and then hopefully Alice will join us as we go along.
Thank you, Carys. Prynawn da, everyone. Welcome to Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Cabinet meeting on Wednesday, the 7th of October 2020. Please note this meeting is being recorded and may be broadcast via the authority's internet site. The images and sound recording may also be used for training purposes within the authority. If I now go to the agenda, and we shall go to item 1. Are there any apologies for absence?
We haven't received any, Chair.
Thank you. Any declarations of interest?
Again, we haven't received any, Chair.
Thank you, Carys. We shall go to item 3, which is dog fouling public spaces protection order. And is Councillor Barry in the meeting now?
Yeah, I mean, not as
okay, Andrew. Are you going to present that one, please?
Yeah, I'm not in the meeting as I needed to be in the meeting, but well, we'll deal with that as we go through. Okay, so the dog fouling public spaces protection order is item 3. I'm pleased to be bringing the report to Cabinet today, as it's one of the more common issues all councillors receive queries and complaints on. The report is to seek approval for statutory and public consultation in relation to a borough-wide dog fouling public spaces protection order to improve the measures we have in dealing with dog fouling in public spaces. This order will allow the authority to bring a fixed penalty to a person who fails to clean up their after their dog has defecated, with a penalty of up to £100 rising to £1,000 should further action be required. And the recommendation is at 2.1, simply statutory and public consultation be undertaken on the proposal to introduce a borough-wide public spaces protection order requiring a person to in charge of a dog in a public space to remove all feces deposited by the dog forthwith, and that be approved, Chair.
Do we have a seconder?
Yes, I second that, Chair.
Thank you. Do we have any questions?
No, Chair, it doesn't seem so.
Thank you. Do we have any comments?
Yes,
I can see Councillor Davis's hands up. Councillor Davis.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Obviously, really welcome this report to Cabinet this afternoon. I think, as we heard from officers in recent weeks, obviously there is no current legislation that can enforce, obviously, the issue with dog fouling across the county borough. So really welcome this report for us to go out to consultation with the public to hear their views. Obviously, I note the further report will come back to Cabinet or Council in due course, where we can look about the implications of staff resources and how we can take this forward. I think all councillors, we all receive a number of complaints from residents across the county borough on this issue, where dog owners need to be more responsible for the actions of their dogs. And really welcome, obviously, us supporting this report this afternoon, for the consultation to go ahead, for that to come back, for us to consider the implications and how we take that forward to keep the county borough cleaner and greener for our residents. Thank you, Chair. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you, Councillor Davis. I can see Councillor Mitten's hand up. Councillor Mitten.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Just to add to that as well, and just to ensure that obviously as part of the consultation process, those results go in front of our said scrutiny as well, so they can look into it and give their feedback in relation to the matter and take it forward. So thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor. Are there any more comments? Can we take that to the vote then, please? Yeah.
Yeah, Chair, it doesn't seem to be registering a vote from you. Have you put your hand up?
No, I haven't. No, silly me. There you are.
There we go. That's carried unanimously.
Okay, thank you for that one. If we can move over on to the next item, which is item 4, Care Inspectorate Wales Performance Review, April 2019 to March 2020. And I think this is Councillor Chris Davis.
Thank you, Chair. It is. Yeah, I'm obviously pleased to bring forward this report to the Cabinet today. The summary of the report is contained 1.1 to 1.3. Just wanted to pick up, obviously, just a few key themes as I put my teeth back in. Obviously, this is an annual report that comes forward from CIW measuring the performance of our social services department. I'm really pleased to report the excellent relationships that exist between the officers of CIW and the director and her senior team here in Merthyr Tydfil. Regular meetings have been held, during and throughout COVID. Our teams have kept CIW closely up to date on the issues and impacts of coronavirus. In previous years, CIW have responded to the annual Director's Report, and I'm pleased to say that Merthyr Tydfil Council, and credit to our director and her team, and particular mention to Judith Brooks, who's currently working with us, we have actually produced the Director's Annual Report. It isn't a requirement from the Welsh Government this year because of the COVID restrictions, but we do have a report that is coming to Council for consideration tomorrow evening. So I'm really pleased because obviously that report looks up the areas of good practice and areas for improvement for us here in Merthyr Tydfil. This is a great report. There's some areas that have been identified by CIW, but the letter is included in the background papers for members' information. But subject to questions and comments, Chair, I'm pleased with the report. I'm pleased with the progress. We'll have an action plan that will come out of this that we will work hard on. So subject to questions and comments, I will move the recommendations at 2.1 of the report that the content of the report be noted.
Thank you, Councillor. Do we have a seconder?
Yeah, I second that, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Mitten. Any questions?
No, it doesn't seem so, Chair.
Thank you, Caris. Any observations or comments? I can see a hand up there, Councillor Hughes.
Yeah, just to say, I'd like to pass on my thanks as former Cabinet Member of Social Services for the work that the teams have done throughout this pandemic. I'll be honest with you, they've got to be commended for that because they worked so hard and, they kept our homes, they kept them safe during the time, which is excellent, So I'd just like to pass on my thanks to all the staff.
Thank you, Councillor. I'm sure Councillor Davis will take that forward. Can we take it to the vote, please?
carried unanimously, Chair.
Thank you, Mountain Officer. If we move on to the next item, which is item number 5, again, an inspection report, T Bargoed Newydd, and it's Councillor Chris Davis again, please.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, obviously, this is a report of a CIW inspection of T Bargoed Newydd, one of our residential homes. Obviously, the summary of the report is contained at 1.1, and obviously the report in front of Cabinet today.
Councillor Davis, you've gone on mute.
You're breaking down, Councillor.
Sorry, Chair, I'll start again. Obviously, the summary of the report is contained at section 1. Obviously, the report includes details of a recent inspection of T Bargoed Newydd residential home, which is in our own stock and our own management, located in Treharris within the county borough. The Cabinet report today includes the outcome of the inspection along with the associated actions and the action plan in response to the recommendations of the inspector. I would like to, alongside what Councillor Hughes has said, really pay tribute and credit to our staff in our homes, but also all the staff in the independent sector homes across the borough, and actually all staff providing care and support to residents across the county borough of Merthyr Tydfil for the amazing and outstanding work keeping the residents of the county borough safe, and also obviously providing the much needed services that people require to keep them safe and secure outcomes. Obviously, Chair, this inspection has come at a difficult time for T Bargoed, but the staff have rallied together. I'm really pleased with how timely the officers have put together a response to the action plan, which is included in the appendix to the report for members to see. All of what has been outlined has already been addressed, and the actions put into motion by our staff, by the registered manager and the responsible individual and the team at T Bargoed. So I commend the inspection report, the great work of the team and of the staff, and in doing so, Chair, I move, subject to questions and comments, to the recommendations contained at section 2 of the report, the content of it and the action plan associated with the inspection be noted.
Thank you, Councillor. Do we have a seconder?
Yeah, I second that, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Mitten. Any questions?
No, Chair, there's no questions.
Thank you. Any comments or observations?
No, there are no comments, Chair.
Thank you. Shall we take up the vote?
And that's carried unanimously, Chair.
Thank you. We now go to, I'm looking at my list, Chair. Bear with me. We are on item 6, aren't we? Yeah?
We are. Yes,
it's exempt. We're in the exempt section now?
Yeah, Chair, can I move a section 100, and can I just give confirmation that whilst we're on Teams and we are in our own homes, I have just asked my very young people in the house to stay away from my office at home because we are dealing with an exempt item. So I just want to give the monitoring officer reassurance that they've been told not to enter the room because this is an exempt item we're discussing. Thank you, Chair. So yes, to move section 100, please.
Okay, do we have a seconder?
I second that, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Barry. So can we, who's present? The next item is sundry debt write-off.
You need to take the votes on that.
Oh, sorry, beg your pardon. Can we take that to the vote? I did see it there and I thought, what's that?
I know. There we are, and that's carried.
Thank you for that. If we move on to my script, it's going to